cause more trouble than my dog would. I guarantee you that the average welfare grifter from New York who votes both in Florida and in New York, in order to make certain that their benefits are maintained, even though they have more money than Madoff, they're all collecting from government. I went the other day, for example, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I saw through the corner of my eye, I don't miss a thing. When I was young, a person once said to me, can't you let an ant go by without commenting on it? I said, no, I'm a biologist. My job is to actually get on my knees with a magnifying glass and look at the ant. So the way I used to look at ants, I look at people. So I go into Delhi the other day, where I bought lox last time, because the best smoked salmon actually is down here. They know nothing about anything. They don't know, all they know is benefits and smoked salmon. You get the Nova Scotia thin slice, the guy behind the counter, you'd like to cut his throat. A nasty piece of garbage from Brooklyn. Made a fortune out here in the deli business, but mean, nasty, insults his customers. All deli men are like that from New York. I have discovered. They have a nasty mean streak. It must be the sodium nitrite from circulating. So I wrote him this time after I got the lox. I said, how much sugar is in your bagels? Oh, did he start to smoke? Gave me the answer. 110 each 110 pounds of flour has exactly 10 pounds of sugar, else it would taste like straw. I said, let me ask you about straw. I said, how much sugar is in a bagel? So I said, so I guess exactly 9% or whatever. The fact is, I brought his bagels home. The ants went into it. There was so much sugar. Do you know that ants won't eat bread if there's no sugar in it? I found out you bring home a nice loaf of bread. The ants don't even like it. But if you bring it home from a deli where they all have diabetes, which is why our health care is through the roof, because they eat like pigs, sugar, everything sugar, and they take a sugar pill. They don't. The doctor doesn't tell them cut down on sugar slob. They say eat what you want, and we'll give you a pill for it. What about my cholesterol? We got a pill for that. What about when that don't work? We got a special sale on bypass now, which we don't even do. We do stents because the government pays for stents. We can knock out 3 in an hour and still get out to the golf course. I'm in this deli. I see two of the fattest, ugliest people because I live on the West Coast where one thing, although the people are nasty and mean, they're in good shape. I don't know what it is. Everyone runs and they jog and they watch their diet, and miserable, nasty, inhuman people. You come to the East Coast, you see people you don't know they exist. You don't know. It's almost a marvel, a medical marvel that anyone could be this fat and out of shape and still be eating on their own volition. I go in this deli. I see a pair of 250s, each 250. The woman and the man, and they have to be in their 70s, mid-70s. I have no idea what the cost to Medicaid is. Well, wait a minute. It gets even worse. They are sitting with a minority attendant as they're knocking down disgusting corned beef sandwiches. The guy had a stomach on it, maybe a 60 gut. Her chin was in the plate, and they're talking. You think the mashed potatoes? And the minority attendant is sitting there like in a nurse's uniform. So I gave a look. I analyzed quickly with the hard drive, did a quick analysis. And I figured it out in a nutshell. They're from New York. They're double-dipping on welfare and Medicare. And the government, meaning you, are paying for the attendant because they're medically not capable of feeding themselves and caring for themselves. So one of the Medicaid plans probably provides for a minority attendant to take care of these fat slobs. So I said to the person I was with, I said, now you understand why the country is broke? It's because of Democrats, socialist pigs like this. So, you know, when you talk about health care reform, I'm all for it. How about reforming the pigs in the health care system who work the system, who get freebies like this, and ought to be in jail like Madoff? Does that work for you? I'll be right back.
No one else can say it that clear and that precise. And he is passionate, of course.
The Savage Nation. Weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk 910. KNEW.
Somewhere beyond the sea.
Where I am right now, somewhere beyond the sea, I'll tell you. Here I am in Area 50 whatever by now. I can't even count anymore. No dog. I miss them at night the most, but we have wild foxes out here, snakes. The foxes could kill a dog I have. They're rabid, number one, and number two, skinny and starving. And it's too hot for them. You can't bring a dog into this climate. Only Democrats live here in the summer. I don't know what I'm visiting for, but all right, I'm here, whatever. 1-800-449-8255. San Antonio, Stewart, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Yes, Michael, I just wanted to comment on your opening monologue this hour. You're spot on, listening to you talk about the dog on the floor, the 250-pounders, the nasty Democrats, the deli guys. I was in my kitchen making supper just in tears laughing.
Thank you, Stu. No, it is funny. It's comedic in a political arena, but the fact is those people were real with a minority attendant, eating like pigs, and I know they were on 12 medications, I can guarantee you. And the attendant, I can guarantee you, they weren't paying for out of their pocket.
Exactly. And I work here in San Antonio in a large employer. I go to work, and there's, 200, 300-pounder women, full in the place I work.
Oh, yeah, and they're all on medication, which we're paying for. One of the reasons that the medical system is broken is because we're providing medical care for illegal aliens. Let's start right off the top. They're non-citizens. Now, when you're providing medical care for non-citizens, you're going to bankrupt the system because they're putting nothing in it and taking it out. So let's start with that. That's number one. Number two, we're providing too many services for too many people too often. They're not requiring or encouraging the people to maintain their own health. Instead, they're encouraging them to live unhealthy lives, eat unhealthfully, and then come to big daddy government for medication. I was raised the other way, which is keep yourself fit, treat yourself first, go to a doctor at last resort. Everything's been turned around where they tell you at the first quirk in your body, run to a specialist. No system can afford that, Stuart.
Exactly.
Thank you. And I knew a rich man years ago, a very rich man when I was very struggling. He had a heart attack somewhere, I don't remember where, and I knew that an ambulance was ordered to fly him back from the Caribbean to Miami for treatment. I didn't know for a fact the guy was worth north of $50 million. My suspicion, by what I heard later, was that the government paid for that airplane. He knew how to work the system, I swear to God. A lifetime liberal from England. He grew up during the Depression, so he was a wobbly left-wing socialist, and his whole view, even though he was a rich man, was that anyone who was not a left-wing maniac, Karl Marx level, was a reactionary. You know the type? But abused the system, nevertheless. This is what we're dealing with in America today. Tampa, Florida, who's calling about low noise and delta waves? Is that a good call? I got a migraine on me today. It's killing me. Low noise. Rob, welcome to the show. Rob, we had him already. And he give him the same guy. He called about the kitchen knife. Monterey, California. Tish, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know about an experience. My granddaughter came out 2 years ago, and American Airlines charged $50 each way additional to the plane ticket cost.
Well, for a child, they charge more?
No, less. It's in Teddy.
I'm missing the point. It's cheaper to take a kid than a dog?
Yes, that's what I was going to call and tell you.
Wait a minute. You mean if you have an infant with you, the infant sits on your lap, right?
I don't know those rules, but with an unaccompanied minor, that was fine.
All right. Of course it's cheaper to take a dog than a kid. A Democrat there should be a surcharge for a Democrat from New York of at least $250 a head over the regular fare because of what they cause on an airplane. I want a special meal. You give them the ethnic meal, I tell you it's not good enough. It wasn't particularly by this particular group. And then I don't like the way the bean looks underneath. Take it back. I'm suing because the ethnic meal, whatever you do for them is not enough for New York. They're suing the minute they get on the plane. Before they even get to the plane, they're already fighting with the let me on first. You ever see that one, the let me on first people? It's like Lourdes Cathedral now trying to get on an airplane. I love the people. I love to have one person who has a minor like kink in the left side with a cane. And there's 12 family members, all healthy. They look like pole vaulters. They rush on first because the one person with the cane all right, women and children and the infirm go first. All right, you can accept if it's a woman and a child. But you know that they're faking it, most of them. I saw once I was on a plane. This really galled me because I have sympathy for really ill people. I hate people who with the blue cards who are not sick. I hate them. I confront them in parking lots. When I see them get out, I give them the beady eye. I give them an eye on them. You talk about a Maloika, I give them a Maloika. I go up to them and I say, you don't look sick to me. Why are you in the zone? What are you putting a blue card? Then they get the cane already. They start limping around to the deli to stuff their mouth with a corned beef sandwich to take the pill for diabetes and cholesterol and call up Dr. Mintz to see if some quirk that they felt can be treated for that by the government. while they're in the Barbados next year. Well, and you wonder why the medical system is broken. Because we provide too many services for too many people on too regular a basis, that's all. Cut back. Cut down. You want medical reform? I'm all for it. Let me reform the system for you. First thing, you put a highway patrolman in every hospital in America, and you don't let any illegal aliens into the emergency room. Non-citizens need not apply. Go back where you came from for medical care. Not because we're not nice people. Not because we don't want to give you the medical care. But amigo, we're broke. We can't treat your child for a runny nose with a $12,000 medical tab, which we pay. So that's number one, et cetera, and so on. So I saw this over and over again. They were in the wheelchair, and don't say I'm insensitive, okay? I don't want to go into my family thing, but I have terrible compassion. I cry for people who are really injured. I hate fakers more than you could imagine. They're in a wheelchair now when their boarding starts, and they make young men